Is Laphroaig 25 the best Laphroaig I have ever tasted? Let's find out. Thank you once again for joining me, malt lovers. My name is Wade, and today I wanted to do something special to thank each and every one of you that has now helped me to hit more than 1,000 subscribers on McIntyre's Malts. It's unbelievable to think that, just last year I started a small whiskey channel and you guys are enjoying what I do. So I'm having a lot of fun with this, and I wanted to do this as a sort of different, interesting way to say thank you to you guys. And as promised earlier, before I reach the 1,000, I will do a review of the Laphroaig 25-year-old. So this one is probably the most expensive whiskey I have ever bought. Probably meaning it absolutely is. It is one that I got for my 40th birthday at the end of last year. This one is it's not cheap. It's not cheap. It's the kind of whiskey that the only reason I spent the money on this whiskey was because of the milestone of a new decade, right? Turning 40. So in my market in Australia, this one is in the range of $800 to $1,000, but I did not pay that much for it. I found a discount, and it still applied on some larger whiskies, and ended up paying $600 for this one. So still quite a lot of money, but I justify it to myself by saying 600 is a lot better than 800 to 1,000, right? So yeah, bargain whiskey. We are going to do the usual today. I'm going to nose the whiskey. I'm going to taste the whiskey, give you my thoughts, what I experienced, and just have a lot of fun with this one as a interesting one to do, right? So this is the 2019 bottling. These are annual releases from Laphroaig, and they have different ABVs, different cask maturations or finishes. As far as I understand, they are all cask strength. Sometimes though, after 25 years in a barrel, the whiskey comes out and is significantly lower ABV. This one is a good strong ABV, being 51.4% ABV. There we go. The box itself is kind of cool. Actual sort of hardwood box, or timber. Probably pine, not hardwood, and a little bit of a pamphlet in here. I'll take that out, we'll have a look. This one from 2019 is a entirely bourbon matured, so no sherry influence on this one, which is cool, right? A Laphroaig in the classic sense of Laphroaig for a full quarter century in a cask, right? Like, incredible to think about a whiskey that has spent a quarter of a century maturing in a cask. It's fascinating to me, right? So let's pour a dram, and then we'll let it sit for a little bit while we talk a bit more about the whiskey. Okay. Very light straw color. Really, really pale, right? You can definitely see the bourbon cask influence on this one. Now, interestingly, to me, after 25 years, that looks like natural color, right? It seems that there's no artificial coloring. That's very light, right? Or it's a very... man, I can smell the smoke. Incredible. Given the coloring on this, I'd give it the benefit of the doubt that it's not artificially colored. It's non-chill filtered. So it says on here as well, the remarkable things happen when one of the world's most individual malts matures for a quarter of a century. Laphroaig 25 is an uncommon and remarkable non-chill filtered malt, a marriage of our signature Isla peat with subtle oak and vanilla tones from bourbon casks. This is truly a whiskey worth savouring. So yeah, it's one that I bought to basically share with everyone at my 40th. It's the kind of whiskey I think that you should share with others, right? It's a special moment, a special drink, and special people around. So it was very cool to open this and all have some together. And yeah, it was a very wonderful evening. I've still got a little bit in here. I've been occasionally drinking this sparingly over the course of almost a year now. Okay, so on the little pamphlet that comes in the box with the whiskey, there is a little insert that explains a little bit about the whiskey here, some sort of tasting notes. And what we've got here is this rare 25-year-old Laphroaig is a marriage of bourbon casks that have been carefully selected by our master distiller. This would have been John Campbell at the time. Now Barry McCaffer is the master distiller at Laphroaig. The resulting whiskey is subtle and elegant with notes of sweet vanilla, oak, and our signature Isla peat smoke. This bottling is non-chill filtered and bottled at cask strength to preserve the full flavour of this exquisite whiskey. Laphroaig 25 is one of the most unique of all malt whiskies. The exceptional character of this expression makes this a whiskey truly worth savouring. That and the cost. You do not want to drink this every other day, right? It's got here the nose is initial notes of sweet vanilla followed by an Isla peat tang. The body is multifaceted with great depth. Palate is bursts of Isla peat smoke developing into vanilla, spice, and sea salt. And the finish says very long and slightly dry. Let's get into what we've all came here for. Let's begin with the nosing, and then we'll get into the tasting. It's like a Laphroaig, right? It's just flying off this glass. Okay, on the nose. There's something so captivating to me about Laphroaig, the minerality and this earthy peat that just talks to my soul. It's like mossy rainforest. It's just, it feels right, if that makes sense. Oh, wow. You've got this beautiful lemon and lime, this citrus zest is just, it's like effervescent, like bursting out of the glass, right? And then this beautiful thick vanilla is right there. It's not just citric. There's this sweet, almost like a vanilla fudge. It smells like it's dense and chewy, right? And of course, there's like smoke in this, but it's beautifully subdued, right? After 25 years in a cask, that smoke, the peatiness starts to subside, and you get more of the Laphroaig character, right? It's not so in your face. It's there as an accompaniment, right? It's almost like a supporting actor on this one. It's surprisingly gentle for a Laphroaig, but there's plenty here. I think it has a prestige and it knows what it is, and it doesn't need to slap you in the face with a dried fish and say, I'm Laphroaig, right? It just, you know what it is. There's this cool tang, like if you've ever had pineapple that is on the edge of going sour, almost fizzy, right? If you've ever eaten pineapple that's just going bad. Okay, I'm very excited to share this moment with you guys. So let's now taste the Laphroaig 25-year-old cask strength. Slanjava. Oh, man. A work of art. A work of art. Just beautiful heat and smoke, and the peat is there, and it comes on, and it's right away you know it's Laphroaig, and there's this beautiful oily texture. It's thick and coating, and it just starts to unveil and reveal itself. And then all of a sudden, once you swallow the whiskey, that tangy citrus and pineapple and sweetness and the vanilla just comes straight up and lets you know that this isn't over yet. And it's just gorgeous and surprising and so pleasing, because it's not what you expect, right? You get this journey, and now there's the ashiness and smoke. The finish is just lingering, like it's not going anywhere. Almost ash and smoke that's been infused with olive oil, and it's coating my mouth. If you ever get the opportunity to sample or purchase a whiskey like this with that kind of age to it, it's absolutely worth it, just to see what occurs, the difference, as this has taken 25 years to arrive. Like, this is older than my children, right? Like, it's wonderful to experience a snapshot in time like this. Incredible. I want to take a little drop of water now and add into the Laphroaig 25 and just see if it opens up and what else it might present before we do a final nose and finish on the palate. I have tried a very, very large number of Laphroaig expressions. It's probably my favorite distillery, and the distillery that made me fall in love with single malt. It's 3 drops. There's never, or rarely is there, a bad whiskey from a distillery that you're rather fond of or you have a love for. And I haven't had a bad Laphroaig, but I can say after having this whiskey, I have had a great Laphroaig, and it's wonderful to be able to have this experience. I'm very thankful. Let's go on the nose again now that I've added a few drops of water to the Laphroaig 25. It's enhanced, it's brought more of the flavors to the forefront. It's just that's it. Passion fruit. Yeah, like, when you cut a passion fruit and there's the seeds and that orange flesh, the fruit that you eat, it is that, the smell of a passion fruit. It's like nothing else. And this, it's there, and it shifts. You get passion fruit, you're over here, and then when you're here, it's smoke, and then you're hearing this vanilla. There's very little of that typical iodine note on this. It's one of the things that I love about Laphroaig is that iodine, right? That medicinal note. It's like catnip for me, this whiskey, right? People say you either love Laphroaig or you hate it, and I'm in the love camp. the smoke and the peat that you enjoy, but turned down to allow Laphroaig to shine. And the character from the bourbon barrels and the distillate is just, it's just stunning. The malt is there now. Yeah, absolutely passion fruit. Okay, final sip and finish on my palate now after a few drops of water. Here's to you guys. Man, something else. I can taste the passion fruit. It's fruity. It's salty. Then there's the smoke is there, and it's dry, but it's oily, and it's got the right depth and intensity from the ABV, but it's perfectly easy to sip at 51.4%. It's damn near perfect whiskey in my books. Like, there's not a lot to say. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
You can tell, right? Like, you can tell I'm loving this, right? If you get a chance, please, if you're a peat lover or a Laphroaig lover like I am, try and experience this whiskey. It's a wonderful experience to be blessed to have. Thank you very much, guys, for being here. Thank you to each and every single one of you that has ever clicked like on one of my videos, that has clicked subscribe, that watches the channel regularly, and that makes comments and interacts and shares their love of whiskey with me. This is a wonderful journey, and we're just getting started. So I look forward to the next one on McIntyre's Malts. Once again, my name is Wade, and I thank you for being here. Catch you guys soon.